And you're still watching Prime Morning. It's time for the News Flash segment. My name is Roslyn Felly. Today we'll delve deep into our energy sector. And talking about that, yesterday we heard that the government has paid over $1.4 billion in debt in the energy sector. What does that mean to us? Does it mean that we are going to have a good supply of energy? Or actually, it's just one of those things that once it's cleared, after a period of time, we go back into the same old thing? Now, these are the questions that we'll be asking to make sure we get answers for you at home. If you're watching us, you can actually send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Some of you are still in bed. I would have said that we will activate the phone lines for you to call and let us know how you feel about this energy sector debt. Because day in and day out, you meet me on the street and you tell me that, Roslyn, I want to tell you exactly what some things mean to me on TV, but I don't get the opportunity. So I'm looking at the time, it's still a bit too early. Let's see if with time, I'll give you the opportunity to join and let us know if you are happy about this energy sector debt that has been paid by the government. Now, this is not the first time any government is paying off an energy sector debt, paying some of it, but it's the consistency that matters. Now, talking about that, we know the IPPs also benefited, and the IPPs are super excited about this because not too long ago, we heard the IPPs were not too happy with the payment because they were not receiving their monies. But now they have received $393 million in debt that has been paid off for them. And some of the IPPs that have benefited so far, I just want to walk you through some of them that have benefited so far. We're talking about Car Powership Ghana Company Limited. They benefited with $120 million. Cent Power Generation Company Limited, $59.444 million. Twin City Energy, Amandi, they have over $37 million. Early Power Limited have over $42 million. BXC Company Limited, $10 million. Menergy Technology, they also have over $8 million. Sanan Asogli Ghana Limited has over $54 million. AXA Energy Limited has over $30 million. Then you have Senate Energy, which has over $30 million. So in all, over 393. Let me just wrap it up. $393 has been paid to these IPPs. Now, there are questions that I know you at home, you've been asking, and you are like, okay, so if these debts are being paid, what does it mean to the ordinary Ghanaian? That's the most important thing. So today, we are going to make sure we talk about it in the ordinary language. The questions that you are asking, why now? What does it change? And how does it affect your electricity bill? You are asking, right? Well, we'll get all the answers right here because we'll be joined by three ladies, beautiful ladies who will represent different political parties and also a legal expert in the energy sector to let us know what it means to you and I. Before we delve into that conversation, let's start with our newspapers for this morning. So for our newspapers, I'll start with the Overseer newspaper, the Overseer. And the Overseer reads, BOG response to Asempa FM's OBRTI provides data on gold for reserve program. Power stability boosted as Mahama government clears $1.47 billion energy debt. Imani's Franklin Kujo credits Mahama and forcing due for fiscal research. And Baumia is NPP's best for 2028, Ejapa Mesa and Frances. So now talking about that, today we'll be having a representative from the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia coming in to tell us how preparations are, because it's only 18 days for them to go to the polls. The next newspaper is the Insight newspaper, the Insight. Police anti-land guard unit nabbed 6 notorious land guards at Trasacco. Gold Board evaluating the macroeconomic effect on Ghana's economy 1 year on. The U.S. hawk swoops on Maduro, eyes oil as ransom. Irata Group CEO supports widows, disabled, and elderly in Kumawu. And family rejects alleged political sponsorship in Nungwa land dispute. Also, there's a story here that says ban on first-class travel for ministers still in force. And I'm excited because they won't be traveling first class using our money. You know, it's our money? Yes, it's our money. So, yeah. The final newspaper is the Chronicle newspaper. The Chronicle newspaper. Government lost 7 billion Ghana cedis from 2022 to 2024 through gold for reserves and domestic gold purchase programs. That's coming from the Bank of Ghana. QNet again, please rescue 47 victims, and Ghana's economic stability could be short-lived without tough reforms. That'll be it for the Chronicle newspaper as well. But then, you know, anytime the Chronicle comes our way, they come with a Bible verse, and I am always honored to read that Bible verse. So today, the Bible verse is taken from John chapter 10, verse 10. John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I don't know which of the stories this is related to, because I'm seeing so many stories here. I'm seeing government lost 7 billion Ghana cedis. I'm seeing QNet again, and I'm seeing, no, just those two. So I don't know which one you want to link it with, but it's up to you. Anyway, so this morning I have two beautiful women seated next to me. Rightly next to me is Janet Asana Nabla. Of course, you know Janet. She's now a household name right here on Joy Prime. She's a presidential candidate for PMP. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Great. I like your white.
Oh, thank you.
Janet always comes in radiant, you know. Yes, you do. You do.
Learning from you.
Welcome once again.
Thank you.
All right, so for the first time I'm meeting her, Gloria Jifa Asinyo. Did I get it right? Ashinyo. Welcome. Ashinyo. Ashinyo. Oh, Ashinyo. I've done well. I've done well.
It's like you can continue with the language.
Welcome. I hope you're doing well. My mom is also Gloria
as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You see how God does it.
Yeah, I know.
God
right?
has brought your mommy to you right on the set after you left her home.
I like that.
Listening to the set.
Thank you. And you're looking nice, Gloria.
Thank you, my love.
Great. And thank you so much for being here. Now, this morning, you know, some questions are being asked by the ordinary Ghanaian about the monies that have been paid in the energy sector. But before that, I just want to find out from you, it's 18 days for the NPP to elect a flag bearer. So far, everybody seems to be talking about it. But if you look into, probably you should look into your lens and say, it could be this person. Who do you think the person is?
The way the conversation is going round, let me first of all say good morning to Ghana, and then to His Excellency, good morning and win forever, wherever you are. The NPP Congress, is it a Congress or primaries?
Is actually primaries, not Congress, because they did their Congress last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like this. No,
don't do the Congress to elect the...
Yeah, so let's see what the people are saying. You know, some time ago, the members of parliament, a lot of them voted for the former Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So it's like the pressure there is heavier and weightier than the support base with the former member of parliament. So let's see how it goes. It plays. You know, delegates cannot be trusted. So let the best candidate win. Yes.
But do you think that he stands a chance?
Oh, yeah.
He does?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he stands a chance.
Okay.
Because I have been following their posts and their comments wherever they go. People who come on air boldly saying they are routing for him and rooting for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I know that. And also, he being the former flag bearer, I'm sure.
You're sure? All right.
But delegates.
Fear delegates, eh?
Exactly.
I like that. Janet,
So.
I didn't know your name was Asana. I always say Asana. It's Asana.
Yes.
I love Asana. I love the name Asana.
Wow.
Yes. I have a few friends that are called Asana.
Okay.
So I think I'll be calling you Asana.
I'm a team.
Yes. Nice. So then, what about you? What do you think about the NPP primaries that you're going for?
Competent men, 5 competent men. Any of them that comes to win, I think that it's going to. The person is going to do well for his party, because when you look at their what they have done, their experience, they are great men of this country. The only one reason I have has to do with them all being men. Okay. Why is it that there's not even one woman in the MPP that has the confidence or the financial resilience to be able to also contest to win and become a president? I usually ask this question. It boils down to how they treat women in these political parties. Women are supposed to cheer for their male counterparts. Women are supposed to be standing whilst their counterparts, men, are sitting. They carry benches for them, do so many things for them. So because they have created this notion in the political parties that women are supposed to be followers and not leaders, you realize that the party chairman is always a man, the general secretary is always a man. I'm talking about MPP NDC. You see the national organizer.
But the NDC has given a chance that we have never seen in Ghana before.
No, I'm coming. The national organizer is always a man. We talk about all this. It's a vice position. Vice position until the person who you are deputizing is not there, your relevance cannot be felt. Do you understand?
Okay, I guess.
So my problem is that these 2 political parties, you can see that they are not brewing their women to become leaders, to become a force to reckon with. When you look at their presidential, when we even talk about presidential candidates, all 5 men, and there's no even one woman among you. It speaks volumes. When you go to the NDC, it's the same thing. You look at their national executives, and they have maintained it since the inception of our democracy, that the chairman should be a man, general secretary should be a man, national organizer man.
How many women even contest that position?
You know something? You know the funniest aspect, and even the national organizer who is a man is the one who is controlling the national women's organizer. So you have to do your things for a man to look at and then okay it before you go on to do whatever you are doing. Just to tell you that even the national women's organizer's position, women are not in charge of their colleague women. It is the national organizer who is usually a man who is controlling whatever happens. So all what I'm saying is that it's very sad that these 2 political parties are not building women to become leaders. They want them to be deputies. You are talking to me about a vice. Listen, a vice is just like a driver mate, as Bawumia said. Let me borrow his words. A driver mate, and you can attest. Look at what our vice president is doing. Attending women fellowship meetings, anything about women, they push her to that place. Who told you that she cannot attend meetings that is meant for oil and other things? Who told you that when there are leadership meetings that it boils down to the economy, a woman of that stature cannot be able to listen?
Are you saying she doesn't attend?
Oh, I have been seeing her attending anything about women meeting. They will just push her to go there.
Let's be fair.
But we have a gender minister, for God's sake.
We've seen her attend.
We have a gender. No, we are not talking about this maybe once in a while. We are talking about her playing a vital role in this country so that everyone will see on daily basis what is she doing, what things is she doing that Ghanaians can feel that she's helping. So these 2 political parties, when it comes to their elections, I think that they should do something, because we can't have them perpetually having men who rule. These 2 political parties, men rule. When you go to our national executive meetings, you will see the women's organizer. She's the only one sitting there. And do you know what they do? They tell her that, hey, how can we have a woman here? We are hungry and you are sitting down. So get us something to eat.
Have you been a part of the?
I've been part of. I was a national women's organizer.
Which party?
PNC. I was a national women's organizer, and I know the hell that all of us we are passing through. So you will get out to look for food for them, and then by the time you come, the National Executive Committee meeting is finished. You don't even know what they discuss. So political parties must take women seriously. If I formed my party, there is a reason why. And you see, in my party, all national women's, regional women's organizers are part of the National Executive Committee.
Okay.
We need them there.
All right, thank you very much. Jenna says we should promote women more in our political space. Grace Akosua-Moabing has also joined us, and she's representing the NPP. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. Happy New Year.
Many happy returns.
New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to your viewers. I think this is the first time I've appeared on your screen.
Yes.
I was supposed to come last week, but I couldn't make it because Her Excellency Samira Bawumia was in Ashanti region campaigning for her husband, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So I think she finished her campaign yesterday. We are back in Accra, so I'm glad and happy to join you here. Happy to see all the beautiful women.
Okay, so talking about that, we're talking about the election.
Right.
Your elections. That's happening on the 31st of January. 18 days more.
All right, so yes, I've heard from all of you. For me, I think when I entered, one of your gentlemen was asking me if I was B or D or K. I didn't understand what he was saying.
Are you connected or?
So I campaigned for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2024. I was part of his campaign team from 2023 right to 2024.
Okay.
And then we lost the elections. And I'm happy to say that I'm still part of his campaign team. I'm currently with the former second lady, Hajiya Samira Bawumia.
Okay.
So if you ask me, I would say I'm with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and I believe he's going to be, we are still going to maintain him. The party is still going to maintain him as the flag bearer of the NPP. I'm saying this because, yes, we went for an election and we lost. That was his first time contesting for the NPP flag bearership race, and yes, we wanted to take him, even though he was a vice president. He hadn't been on the ticket before as a flag bearer. This is the first time he went for the main election and he lost. And I think if you check the history of Ghana, even if you check the history of the NPP, we haven't presented any flag bearer for the first time who has won the elections. So I think it is not new to have a flag bearer who has gone for an election and lost. So I think from all the places that I've been, from all the constituencies that I've been to, the party is ready, the delegates are ready to take him, to present him again as the flag bearer of the NPP in 2028. And that is why I believe that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to be the ultimate winner at 31st of January 2026. The party is clear. All the constituencies I've been to Ashanti region, I've been to the Eastern, I'm from the Eastern region.
Okay.
And it is clear that the delegates want Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to represent the NPP in 2028.
You don't fear delegates?
No.
Okay.
I've contested before anyway, and I lost, but they gave me hope. But this time, the party wants to move forward.
Okay.
You know, we believe in political consistency. You've presented a candidate the first time, he didn't win. We sold him to Ghanaians. We told him what he can do. They also know what he can do. He was a vice president. The Ghanaians know the initiatives that he brought on board when he was in power with Nana Akufo-Addo, and they believe, even as a vice, she was sitting here saying, vice president, they are taking her to women conferences and all that. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was exceptional. He was able to raise the bar to a certain level that he implemented policies that supported and helped a lot of Ghanaians. So Ghanaians have experienced him. He has been to all the 276 constituencies. I don't believe there's no part of Ghana he hasn't been before, and he hasn't done that once or twice. He has done that more than 3 or 4, 5 times.
Okay.
Even this time, he has been through all the constituencies. A lot of children know him. Even now, I think last year there was a video on TikTok that people were calling him, but we're still calling him the vice president of Ghana. A lot of household know him. And also his T-shirts, his billboards are everywhere. We've marketed this person for more than 8 years. So I don't think there should be a reason why we shouldn't take him.
Okay.
The candidates believe that the party should move on. And then the best person for us to take to 2028 elections is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm not saying the other candidates are bad, they are all good, but this is a critical time for the party. And I believe the delegates also, that we are all parts of the party. We love the party. We want to see the party move forward.
All right.
So we believe that the right person, majority of them, yes, people have different opinions, but I believe majority of the delegates in the NPP believe that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the right candidate for us to present in 2028 elections.
Okay, Akosua, thank you so much. All right, so talking about that, I want to delve into our main topic for this morning, which is to do with the energy sector debt that some have been paid by the government of Ghana. Now, they paid over $1.4 billion yesterday, made Ghanaians know, and this is what they said. They said, beyond clearing inherited arrears and through disciplined implementation of the cash waterfall mechanism by the Ministry of Energy, government has remained current on largely all IPP invoices for 2025 and is firmly committed to further improving payment performance across all IPP obligations going forward. He also said, the government also said that altogether, the Ministry of Finance has paid approximately $1.470 billion in the 2025 fiscal year to rescue and restore Ghana's energy sector. Now, when you hear rescue and restore, obviously your question will be, will our prices start going down? What does that mean to the ordinary Ghanaian? Are we now going to have our energy sector being better without us complaining of doomsday? I know you are asking these questions. Are you going to have fuel prices drop so much that you will not be complaining probably for the next 10 years? These are questions you are asking. Now, my guests are here, and I will ask them the questions. Let me start from my mom, Gloria. Since she carries my mom's name, or she bears my mom's name. Now, Gloria, since your government is in power, I want us to and let the ordinary Ghanaian understand what this $1.4 billion being paid in the energy sector means to us.
Yeah, okay, so let me officially say good morning and a happy new year to all Ghanaians, and then to you yourself, and then all our listeners. The energy sector debt.
Yeah.
It's a debt. It's a legacy debt. Mm-hmm. And this is not a debt that has been accrued in a particular period. It has been there from, I can say generation, because since Kwame Nkrumah is almost, how many years, 60, 50, and so from generation. So a government come, pay a bit, this one come and accrued more, pay bits, and then accrued more, pay bits, accrued more, pay bits. And we were not looking at generating more power to add up to the Akosombo Dam then. So it came to a time that power started threatening. Power supply started having some truncating here and there. That was between 2006, 7, 8, and then 9. So when the NDC came to power, that was when the Akosombo began to disappoint everybody, because we were all relying on Akosombo very heavily. So those years, when you buy the daily graphic, you will see water level this as at yesterday, water level that as at today, water level Friday, it will be worse. And that is how they have been giving us the water level. Everybody has been relying on Akosombo. And so when His Excellency, the late Professor J.A. Mills was elected the president, he and His Excellency, the then Vice President John Dramani Mahama, took a bold decision. That was when it became obvious that power can go off for, at times, days before it will. So we begin to, shed load. And then where is the help? So he now moved into the famous car power, Ameri power. And that was, the stories surrounding it then. And so we begin to involve a lot of private people to invest in the sector. that was when investors started looking at the energy sector. So Ghana then have no funds as guarantee to boost investor confidence. I heard you before we entered the studio, you were spelling out some debt we were owing people 50 million, 70 million. They need to see if Ghana has something, a guarantee. There wasn't any guarantee. So our power sector, our energy sector wasn't attracting more investors into that area. So His Excellency, the Vice President, the misfortune happened, His Excellency Atamos went to rest. And so the then President John Mahama went to negotiate with the World Bank. That is in 2015. We went to one conference like this, and then he negotiated with the World Bank, and then the World Bank agreed to push into our coffers $500 million as a guarantee for investors to boost, like they are investing it into our energy sector to boost investor confidence. So immediately that was done, as if it was magic, we have investors flashing into the system. I mean, they were just flooding us. So during that period, we were able to accrue about $8 billion investment into the energy sector. And then power changed hands. And when the MPP came to power, all those things, they didn't take. I am sure, that was what I've been saying since to Honorable Napo then, that is supposed to study the transition documents and know those things were not excesses. And the powers we generated down before leaving. That the Energy Commission has given a report that in every 10 years, the population grows. So we need to generate more energy. Like if it is private generators, that the IPPs, the countries will have about 200 megawatts of power down every 10 years because the population grows to avoid this power crisis. That was why we generated those powers down, and then unfortunately we left power, and when they came, the MPP thought it was an excess. So you heard that famous Mahama generated power, it was excess, a waste, and then we don't know what happened, the power got depleted. And then the $500 million also guarantee also got depleted. So they begin to have issues with the IPPs. And then they turn to IMF. Then the IMF also, looking for your weak point to hit you hard, they also have no choice than to add our already depleted, suffering power sector into their deal for us. That costs all this every quarterly rise in power and water, But what's happened last week, and let me say towards the end of last year and this year, the early, like last week, and what date is today is 12, so we are still,
today's 13?
The year is still young.
Okay.
And so what happened was His Excellency, the President and the Finance Minister and his money people, they came together, and then they have defrayed all the $1.4 billion debt that we are owing the IPPs. And not just that, he has paid also, he has gathered money also and pushed into the guarantee.
The monies that were paid, the IPPs, is actually 393.
He has paid all those ones.
US dollars,
I'm talking about energy sector debt.
Yes.
So after paying this 392.810.
So we just rounded
he
up.
has equally gathered that 500 million as a guarantee. The guarantee money, the 500 million World Bank guarantee money is also in place. So for now, if we should be owing any IPP, it is no longer the old debt that is hanging.
It is the new debt.
New ones that are coming that we are trying very hard that before the month will end, we will not be owing anybody, just like we did to the NHIA, we did to the domestic debt, we did to the Euro bond. That is what is happening. Do you know why this bill thing has become news? It's because we took over from a coffers, the economy that was on its knees. And within a year, we were able to turn this whole thing around. and the economy has been rated B+ now, and everything is turning around, the system is calm, inflation has gone down to its lowest. All these things without borrowing any money from anywhere. The only debt we have hanging on us now is the one we inherited from our predecessors, and that is what we are fighting hard to clear. So this thing does not need to be a like discussion that the people say it's not true, it is true, it is not true. The people they have given the money to are saying yes, they have paid them. And we have pushed that money into the guarantee coffers. That is going to attract more investors into the sector. And for you to bear the true witness with me, how long is it now since you've heard anybody coming to your studio here talking about Dumso? It's like it is vanishing from our vocabularies.
Okay.
For the whole year, we've not experienced Dumso in Ghana. Unless maybe something happened. No, it's not. Then it's not Dumso because maybe it is a transformer problem somewhere, or there is a problem with. I mean, some people when in some areas, like my area, for instance, when there is funeral, you know, Ghanaians already, they like to go off so that you run to the ECG and go and do the needful, so that some people can be on duty throughout the weekend and make sure your power.
So are we saying that right now that these monies have been paid, consumers should expect fewer power cuts?
No, they should not even expect any power cut at all, unless it is a fault.
Okay.
Unless
no power
fault,
cuts, unless it's a fault.
There will be no power cut. So when you experience that in your area, I think ECG should put a number out so that when something like that happens, then you know where to tend to, because at times you'll be calling and to come to Accra.
What about relief on tariffs?
Relief on tariff will come when we are done with IMF.
Okay.
And then even if, like the way they are pushing the debt forward, the IMF keep pushing. Now they are talking about August, no longer April. And then the other time they said in 2028, we are ready, if we are ready to pay your money to you. What is preventing you from saying, thank you, give it to me and let me go invest somewhere? They keep pushing it forward. Yesterday I saw something in one of the portals saying the IMF put Ghana's debt into 2028 and no longer 2026. And so if we are able, and now we are left with 150 B, which is going to be cleared very soon. We are trusting God to give us strength to be able to mobilize internally generated funds to clear that one. And when it is done, there will be a relief.
Okay.
And even if not, we are putting up another processing plant, like the Aturabo gas plant. Another gas plant is in the offing very soon. There will be no energy problem for us to be paying higher tariffs.
We are praying for that. We are praying for that. Anyway, we've been joined by Elon Nuku, and he is actually a legal expert in the energy sector. Good morning, Lom.
Good morning, President. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
This year you'll see me. This year I promise you see me. Yes. Now you've written on the debt that has been paid, the $1.47 billion energy sector debt that has been paid. And from the legal perspective, you said it's very fundamental at this time. Why this time?
Well, it's key because, as you know, all of these things are tied to the IPP and the ability to supply power to Ghana. So the contract that we have as with these IPPs, until we have essentially paid on our obligations, they'll be challenged to supply us. If you recall, in the past, there have been many times when the IPPs have issued threats and even indicated that they are going to shut down their plants unless they are paid. So if they are not paid, then our energy security is at risk, and the conversations around so will re-emerge. And so it is fundamental because this kind of payment underscores the entire energy sector and guarantees that we can have security as far as the sector is concerned. So paying debt is key. And putting measures in place to ensure that we don't continue to build up the legacy debt is also important. And so what I've talked about since yesterday is the fact that it's a good sit down for Ghana because it positions us to guarantee the energy sector's stability. And I'll break that down in a number of ways. First of all, the partial risk guarantee that comes from the World Bank is essentially a guarantee that gives us to investors and people who want to play in the energy sector that the World Bank will support their investment by ensuring that payments are made. So when we say that drawdowns on that partial risk guarantee over the years to the point where it was almost depleted, what it means is that as a country, we were consistently defaulting, and the World Bank had to step in to pay these IPPs in order for them to continue operating. And it comes at a cost of the country because you have to pay to set up a guarantee. You have to reimburse the World Bank every time they pay the IPPs. And of course, there's an annual cost to keep the guarantee in place. So when you pay it up, then essentially the signal is to the market that this country, they are serious, they are ready to honor the obligation, and you are welcome to come and invest in the country. That's on the one hand.
Okay.
The second leg of it also is that the IPPs themselves have been paid as part of this arrangement. Okay, so directly, what you're talking about the $392 million, which is also to plug the hole in terms of the legacy that have built up over time, which means gives them confidence that beyond relying on the partial risk guarantee, they also are being paid in additional funds. And then thirdly, the cash waterfall mechanism is also working, which is a mechanism that allows ESG payments to go directly to the various stakeholders in the industry based on a certain formula, so that they don't have to rely on the discretion of ECG on how to pay, and so on. So if you look at these elements, you will see that there's stronger confidence in the energy sector as far as investments are concerned. So I'm not surprised when I saw that the IPPs have also issued a statement to acknowledge that this is what has indeed taken place. They're happy with it. They can see the way things are going, and they would encourage more of such so that the legacy that can be completely paid, and then the going forward obligations are also secured. And so it is really good news for the energy sector, and we really hope that measures such as this continue so that we can keep it on, because it ties in with that you keep asking.
Okay.
How do we ensure that the lights are on?
That's good then. But then what could have happened legally if Ghana had delayed payment?
So basically, the partial risk guarantee obligations will tie into our national debt. It becomes a sovereign obligation, and then to impact all the various analysis that, for example, IMF or other international agencies and organizations factor into when they are deciding to give you money or not, which will send a signal that your country is not a country that honors its obligations, and will have impact on what you can do in terms of getting resources to fund development in your country. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the impact is beyond just the energy. It will touch on and hit other sectors, because this contributes to the image that the country will have. It will affect our national rate in terms of international rankings, whether we are being put at B, we are being downgraded, we are being upgraded. All of that will be impacted just because that debt exists. You understand? So we need to encourage every attempt that makes the country better, because we are not investing or financing the entire development of this country from funds within. Some of it also includes coming or going out of the country to seek other investors. So it creates the image and the climate that this is a country ready to do business, and players all over the world feel free to come and work with us, you see.
Okay. Now, in all of these, who is better protected in these contracts? Is it the state, the investors, or the consumer?
Well, I would say at the end of the day, bottom line, it should come to the consumer, because the deals that are signed in this sector, ultimately it should benefit the country and those of us who are consuming, the power. You asked a question about tariffs, for example. For so long as the debt exists, so long as there are interest accruing on those debts, so long as the country is impacted negatively by ratings triggered by more and more debt in the energy sector, all of these will impact tariffs, and we most likely have to pay more. And so, when the contracts are entered into, we expect that the terms are honored so that the country will be better off and ultimately consumers will get the benefit. You see? And so that's at the center. It's not all the contracts that we know the details of. However, it is the expectation that every deal that is done by government through its agencies or state-owned companies like so should be for the benefit ultimately of the people of Ghana. And institutions like PRC, in taking decisions related to tariffs, are always concerned about those details and how it impacts the consumer at the end of the day. So consumers should center, front and center in these conversations. But of course, we can't discount the fact that there may be agreements that were not probably balanced properly or were not well structured, such that they may not have ultimately the most benefit to consumers. But that is the expectation, and for the most part, that is what has happened. Many of the contracts have been signed in this area.
So talking about that, unfortunately, that has been happening. But do you think, or you are in the law space, are our laws strong enough to prevent this from happening again?
I think so. So generally, it's a contract matter. In terms of contracts, the law is clear that so long as the terms are not illegal or they are not unconscionable or against public policy, then you can have that kind of contract. And so there's a lot of leeway for government, agencies, and institutions to seek the best deal for the country. And because most of these contracts are based in Ghana, there are some elements that are governed by Ghanaian law. And then, of course, we have some elements that are also regulated by laws of other countries. So, for example, if the financing is coming from a particular country, they may choose maybe English law as a governing law for that contract. Some elements also have a Ghanaian law element. So it is about negotiating to get a deal that is best for Ghana. There's no gun to our heads as a nation to take just any deal that comes onto the table. We pick what works for us and for the ultimate benefit of the people of Ghana. And key to doing that is to ensure that we are planning well in advance so that we don't have a situation where essentially we are forced to enter into a contract because there's not enough time to deal with issues. You recall that in the past when we've had the various, if I say doomsday episodes, if you drive down and do a deep dive into how those occurrences occurred, you realize that it's because investments had been made consistently prior to that period. The power sector is one of the sectors that if you see doomsday happening today, for example, it is not on something that happened just a month or 2 or 3 months ago. It's because perhaps investments were not made 5 years ago, and so on. So long as the country is focused on planning, is focused on engaging the stakeholders in the sector, planning properly, taking account of the population growth and where the country is going in terms of industrialization and development, there's no reason absolutely why we cannot plan properly to ensure that we have the best deals for the country so that the people of Ghana get ultimate benefits.
All right, Lom. My final question to you, and I know this is what everybody has been asking, the ordinary Ghanaian, those especially who, are struggling to understand the figures. Why do we keep owing? We've been asking, but we haven't gotten answers to it.
Okay, so it's a multifaceted question, but I'll give you maybe the simplified version. So bottom line, anytime, for example, ECG and the various distribution companies collect bills from us as consumers, they have to use those monies to pay off other players in the energy value chain. So we are talking about Whitco as a transmission company, we are talking about the gas suppliers, we are talking about the independent power producers, and all the government agencies and institutions that have contributed to ensuring that the energy sector is working. Now, if you have a situation where you are not collecting enough based on what has been produced and transmitted and supplied, then obviously a shortfall. So, for example, if people are stealing power by doing illegal connection, what it means is that ECG is not collecting enough to pay for those who have produced it, those who have transmitted, those who have supplied the gas to ensure that we can have the power. Apart from potential losses, which is the theft, when people are stealing, there's also loss that may be occasioned by the kind of equipment that, for example, ECG is using. Or if the quality of those equipment is not good and they are always breaking down and so on. So just on a technical level, the power that is going to consumers will occasion losses along the way, which also means that you are losing the power and you will not be able to claim payment tariffs on it in order to pay the people in the value chain. So for so long as there's always that gap or that difference between the cost of those who are producing, supplying, transmitting, and supporting to bring the power to come to consumers against what's collected, then the debt starts accumulating. Okay. So for long as it accumulates and is not being paid, it will continue. Thirdly, you also recall that in the past, there have been conversations around ECG, even when it has collected the funds, is using its discretion to decide how it will pay these stakeholders in the chain. So it is not paid fully or even significantly the bills are being presented. So you see that ECG may decide to go and build a new office. They might decide to get regulation to Ghana Police Service. They want to do all kinds of things. Meanwhile, they owe the gas supplier. Meanwhile, they owe the transmission company Whitco. Meanwhile, they owe the IPPs. So that will also increase the hole. And it continues to deepen for so long as measures are not put in place to plug the hole. So that is why this cash waterfall mechanism was brought to the fore as a mechanism to ensure that all collections should go into a designated account, and then that account be paid the various players in an equitable manner.
All right, Lord.
So it's good to see that is part of the investigation, the payment, as the ministry indicated. You can't just pay the and not make the cash waterfall work. You must ensure that as you have paid 1.4 billion, the cash waterfall mechanism is working, so that going forward, still not accruing more debts.
Okay. Lom, thank you so much. Lom is a legal expert. He actually has helped us understand this in legal terms. So if you're just tuning in, that was Lom, who is a legal expert, and he's told us more. Now, let me go to Asana. I like how you smiled. Asana. Now, looking at all these things that are happening, what does this tell us about how our energy sector has been managed so far?
You know, when NDC government first came out, they told us that the $1.47 billion dollars were paid. Later on, going into the issues, we realized that that wasn't so. They paid 393 million Ghana cedis, and we still, Joy FM have done a research and has seen that we still have 700 million outstanding debt that is not yet paid, and they have done reprofiling the debt, which means they are pushing the debt to 2028, where payments will be made. Look, I have a difficulty in that, because you can't rule people when you are not honest with them. Honesty is part of respect. Reasons why people leave their marriages had to do with their partners not telling them the truth. So we are in a marriage with NDC. The people of Ghana are in a marriage relationship with NDC. They chose NDC to manage our economy for us. And so if every day we get up and we are saying that information comes and then it is misrepresented, and finally we get to know the truth, it means they are hiding things from us. Let me say this. We were here when IMF came out that they have seen that Ghana, we've made a loss of $240 million with Gold Board. Gold Board came out, debunked it. Bank of Ghana came out, debunked it. Ministry of Finance came out, debunked it. They said it wasn't true. Then IMF maintained its position and said, I got this from Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, their report. So I did not conjure that figure. Then they came out and started saying that Gold Board now came and said that it's not me, it is Bank of Ghana debt. Bank of Ghana said it's not me, it's Ministry of Finance debt. So they now tried pushing the debt to each other. What I'm saying is that doesn't speak well of you at the first place. If you are honest with us, what will we do? When you are honest, it means you want to solve the problem. You want us to to come up with a solution. That is the reason why you are being honest. I think that was yesterday that I saw the chairperson for Public Accounts Committee grilling the Bank of Ghana governor for a 3.5 billion gold for reserve loss that he made mention some time ago. The Bank of Ghana came out with a report that we've made a loss of 3.5 billion in gold for reserve and 3.8 billion for gold for reserves, and then 1.8 billion for gold for oil. When you combine it together, that's 5.6 billion. So they came up with that report. But when the financial statement was published in their website, they checked and saw that the 3.8 billion for the gold for reserve was not there.
Okay, so I just want to read this because you're saying that it's not the 1.4 that has been paid. So this is coming from the Ministry of Finance page. If you go there, the statement that they have released, I want to take it from paragraph, I think I should do paragraph 4. Okay, no. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, paragraph 5. In a clear demonstration of fiscal discipline and responsible leadership, government has, as at 31st of December 2025, fully paid $597.15 million US. Now, when you go to paragraph 6, between January and December 2025, government through carefully coordinated policy action, also settled all outstanding gas invoices owed to ENI and Vitol for electricity generation. These payments totaled approximately $480 million. Now, they come here and then they break down the other monies that have been paid to the IPPs, which is $393 million. Then government says all together they have paid the 1.4 million.
What I'm saying is that
billion US dollars.
This report I'm giving you
down.
No,
so the total is
1.4 billion. Yes.
So what I'm saying is that Joy have done a research. Joy have done a research.
I'm Joy.
Yes, you are here.
Yes.
And then they came out that 700 million is still outstanding. 700 million.
That's what apart from the 1.4, there's another outstanding.
Janet is saying that there's a 393 that has been paid. That's what Janet is saying.
No.
Okay.
There are other payments that were made.
Okay.
But Joy came out that they told us that they paid the total bill. That's what they told us. We were told that total bill was paid. But when Joy did a research, they realized that 700 million was done in reprofiling, meaning they will pay the debt in 2028. But these Ghanaians, we did not know this. The reason why I'm making this statement is that there have been historical antecedents of the NDC telling us things that are not true. And I'm just telling, I've just said it. I've just mentioned Gold Board and how Gold Board came out vehemently to tell us that the IMF, in fact, they even told us that IMF was lying. But they forgot that IMF was bigger than even Ghana. If we say something and IMF says a different thing, no one will believe us, neither to think of Gold Board. So we knew very well that they were not telling the truth. And then now Bank of Ghana governor told us that we've made a loss of 3.8 billion in gold for reserves, only for them to publish their statement on their own website. And this information was not there. They only mentioned the 1.8 billion gold for oil loss. That was the one that they
maybe I should read a statement that has been released. Is that okay?
When did they release it?
So let me read the statement. It was released yesterday. And this was the Mahama administration pays 1.47 billion to clear energy sector debt and restore World Bank guarantee within first year. So this is what they're saying. Accra, Monday, the 12th of January, the government of Ghana, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, has decisively resolved the crippling energy sector debt that posed one of the gravest risks to Ghana's financial stability. But if you're talking about resolving, of course, if you're owing people and you pay, they give us a breakdown. So we start from here. When President Mahama assumed office in January 2025, the energy sector had been pushed to the brink by years of persistent non-payment for gas supply to the power sector from the offshore Cape 3 point failed. As a result, the World Bank partial risk guarantee of $500 million had been completely depleted under the previous administration. Number three, the partial risk guarantee, that's PRG, established in 2015 under the previous NDC government, was a critical safeguard that enabled nearly $8 billion in private sector investments into Ghana's energy sector through the Sankofa Gas project. Now, number four, it was designed to guarantee payments to the project partners, ENI and Vitol, in the event of payment shortfalls. Its exhaustion represented a serious governance failure that undermined Ghana's international credibility. Five, in a clear demonstration of fiscal discipline and responsible leadership, government has, as at 31st of December 2025, fully paid $597.15 million inclusive of interest drawn on the World Bank guarantee. This achievement has restored the facility in full and reaffirmed Ghana's standing as a credible and reliable partner on the global stage. Number six, between January and December 2025, government, through carefully coordinated policy actions, also settled an outstanding gas invoice owed to ENI. So you're not talking about this?
No.
So what are you talking about?
She's not. Do you know why Joy had to go and do a research?
No. So what are you talking about? You said
Joy went to do a research.
Now listen, is the IPP?
I beg. Let me land.
Yes.
Do you know why Joy had to do a research?
Okay.
Because the government came out and said that they have paid the bill. So Joy realized that Joy checked and said, we have to do more checks on this. They went and did checks and saw that it's not true. The bill was not paid. 700 outstanding bill. $700 million outstanding bill was still there. To who? So to the independent power producer, they profiled the debt to pay it in 2028. My question, you don't understand. My bone of contention is that
you feel the light. The light to Ghanaians. That's what you're
why is it not in the statement that they released?
Exactly.
Because you are dealing with us. Our life is not we gave you. How do I give you appointment? Is the president? Is President?
Company did Joy
please,
we are owing $700 million.
Independent power producer.
Each of them.
Wait, look. We gave you our company to man. We pay you monthly salaries to man our company, which is Ghana. So there are problems in that company. And then you came out to issue a statement talking about payments you have done, praising yourself, insulting your opponents. These are all good, though. Every statement in that statement is good. That you should praise yourself, all the things that you have done, you should let people see. But then you should also remember to tell us that even though we've done all this, we still have $700 million outstanding debt, which we have done reprofiling. What it means is that it's still a debt onto us, but we'll pay it in 20. We were able to maybe have an agreement that we can pay it in 2028. You never did that. And that is the reason why Joy had to go and get this information, and then they brought it.
Okay.
My question is, my problem is this. We have to be factual. I'm just telling you about the Bank of Ghana governor not telling us the truth. I told you about Sami Jemfi, government appointees, Ministry of Finance. These are big state institutions that are at the realms of affairs of our economy. If these people are not telling us the right information and they are hiding information from us, what else are they not hiding? Look, if I were to have power, I would call Elon Musk and his people to come and just push them aside. There's something they are hiding.
You call Elon Musk to push what?
To come in and push them aside.
What are we hiding?
To do forensic audit on our economy.
What are we
so
hiding?
that you just hit $700 million to independent powers.
But Joy has gone to do their research.
All right.
They did it through. They did it through the RBI.
Don't worry.
Don't
worry. We'll get you more details on it. I'll get you more details.
If you want to, because
I'll get you more details. Grace, let me come to you.
Right.
What time is it?
Now, Grace, do you agree the clearing of the debt at this time is very necessary?
Oh, why not? It's necessary because clearing of the debt, like you said, it's not one government thing that has been happening. It's been there. When MPP came to power, we had debts that we cleared because then the then president signed a contract, the take and pay agreement, and we had incurred a lot of what we call losses, and we had to pay. And if you look at it, that is the reason why we are here at this time, because if MPP didn't take their time to religiously pay these bills, we wouldn't be here at this point, because when MPP came to power, we had a 2.1 billion debt sitting there, and then because of the agreement that was signed, we were incurring loss of, I think, 1 billion every year till they signed an agreement, and then the amount reduced to 600 million every year. So if we should do a quick calculation of that, like if we are paying with the 2.1 billion that we had, if there was a debt of 1 billion and then we have renegotiated it to 6 million Ghana cedis every year, if we should calculate 600 million times that year, we'll have a lot of debt, almost 7.7 million, 7 billion Ghana cedis. $7 billion. But then when the NDC came to power, they had a 3 billion debt, which means that the MPP was already doing this. We're already religiously paying all these IPPs. And if you drop the release 2026 this month, you can drop the 2020 statement from the Ministry of Finance, and you will see that the MPP paid 1.4 million at that time, even before we left power in 2024. we paid 1.4 billion. We settled all these debts. And then you have, I don't know if you have a breakdown of that. It was in their budget, but the NDC never read that part. They only put the 2025 that they paid the 1.4 billion in out there for Ghanaians to see without putting out what we paid before we left power. Do you get what I'm driving at? So it's good to pay the debt. It's something that we have already been doing. The government, they left those debts there. And then when we came to power, we made sure we paid all those debts till now. So if they are paying, it's good that they are doing a PR gimmicks, they are putting it out there, but this is not new. This is something that we have been doing over the period of time. So if you've done it and you've put it out there, like you said, you are reading a whole lot of things. And I agree with my honorable here saying that this is not what Ghanaians need. You should come clear when it comes to these things. And we cited a gold board as an example. Spending all that money, we didn't even know. Now you believe in the IMF, you believe you are putting the IMF in your statement, but then when the IMF came out to say that we have lost, we have done a gold trade and lost $240 million. $14 million. That one was a problem. That one, I think Sami Jemfi even went on Joy, your station, to say that anybody who thinks the gold board has lost 240 million is hallucinating. So that means the IMF is hallucinating. But here, you've captured everything beautifully in your report to make it look like you've done something great. This has been happening. The MPP has been religious. And she was talking about Doomsaw. We know when the Doomsaw came. I experienced Doomsaw. I was in Tema. I experienced Doomsaw. I'm a business person, so I know what I went through with the Doomsaw. And when the MPP took power, we had lights throughout for more than 7 years. 8 years we had the Doomsaw. You asked if people were still are still having lights out, power shortages and everything. And even now, first January, they increased our electricity bills.
The Doomsaw started a long time ago.
Of course, there are people who but then you said there was. She said she started to say that. No, but she's saying that there is no Doomsaw because everything they paid monies and
they messed the power out.
That is not
sold it out. They didn't generate power.
They will have people are paying 1 CD. You forgot that there's a D-levy. We paid all these bills without taking 1 CD from Ghanaians. They have put D-levy. We are paying. Don't we have D-levy? Or you are not in Ghana?
Money from us.
So much money. We didn't put any money down. We didn't put any money. We didn't put any levy on fuel to take it to solve Doomsaw.
Okay.
But we were paying when we came. We were paying all these IPPs.
But we do agree that Doomsaw has been there for a long time, right?
Which now, Doomsaw when we came, we Doomsaw from 2016.
I'm saying that we do agree. The Doomsaw has been there for a long time, longer than how it's been projected. Because as of 2001, there was Doomsaw.
So you are taking it back to...
Wait.
But why do you want to take it?
No. We know where we started having the power.
Power crisis started when you were...
We're not conscious of it.
Power crisis started in 2001. You are right, my dear.
Wait.
My darling Grace.
My darling Grace. We know where did we coin that Doomsaw? Where did the Doomsaw thing start?
To hit things on John Mahama.
We didn't have anything like Doomsaw in 2001.
Grace,
hold on. We were saying Doomsaw.
It was the name Doomsaw that was in there.
Ladies,
it was the name.
We were feeling it and the name came because it was happening in 2016.
It was MPP who
why we now taking it back to 2020 to 2001?
2001 President Kufuor gathered pastors to go to Akosombo to go and pray.
So when everybody is speaking at this time, nobody can hear.
That's my turn.
Yes, and I'm the host. Hold on.
So
I'm saying something. Saying something. I just want us to be fair, because whenever this Doomsaw conversation comes up, we throw too much politics into it.
Exactly.
The fact of the matter is that...
As if we didn't throw politics. Right, exactly.
Gloria, hold on.
You were doing this...
Gloria, hold on.
Grace.
Don't worry. Grace, sorry.
Today you are blessed.
Yes. I have Gigi's here. So whenever it comes to the Doomsaw, I have seen too much politics being played with it. That term Doomsaw, yes, was coined or coiled, probably in 2016. But the fact of the matter is that when I was in university, as of the time I was in university, there was something called load shedding. Somebody has 6 a.m. to 6. So you know today you have light, so you have to make sure that you do everything at this time. Cook everything.
Okay.
That is how it was. As of the time I was in university.
And
that's why I'm taking you back. So I know what I know what I'm talking about. So when it comes to Doomsaw, maybe the word came in later. But we've been facing this power crisis for a while. And the most important thing that I wish we Ghanaians will start going for is how do we solve it and never go back.
So then that's the statement you just read made it look like they are the ones solving Doomsaw. But
you've done nothing.
I read a statement.
The NPP has never done anything to our power
if the NPP did not work on it,
they've never done anything to solve the power crisis.
There with every government.
Wait, but NPP has done nothing.
Saying that NPP has done nothing is wrong.
No, let's tell her how many kilowatts of power have they ever generated?
Come in 2016. She started getting the and I just read something in 2020 for you that is where the money is. So you should correct it that the NPP did a lot and they are now benefiting from it.
No,
that is what I am saying. You are now benefiting from it because of all the monies that were paid from that period till now.
Grace, hold on. What you're saying, when you said you paid 1.4 billion in 2024, never did I come in to say it was a lie because it's a fact. And I don't have to come in and reiterate what facts you have said.
Exactly.
And you said it.
No, but...
But you said something. That is why I corrected. And when you said Doomsaw started in 2016, I had to correct you. Yeah. Okay. So when you are right, I will not come in and correct you because you are right. You were factual. Yes, the NPP government did pay money, 1.4 billion in 2024. And
I have not disputed it.
No, but you said they haven't done anything. So the 1.4 billion payment that they did there, what was it?
To solve our power problem.
They have never done anything. Me saying they have paid 1.4 billion.
I have never disputed it. No, that's not what I am saying. I'm saying that they have
let her land and then I come to you.
Now she's taking... Sorry, she's even coming. She has distracted everything. So that's what she was saying here, that there was Doomsaw and I came in to say we had Doomsaw from 2016. I experienced it. The load shedding that you're talking about, me, I didn't feel it. But then the Doomsaw, I experienced it, I felt it, and I know that was when the whole thing was heightened. And a lot of people didn't know the Doomsaw came 6 to 6. You have to ask, do we have light or something of that sort? And now we are here. For 8 years, when NPP came to power, we've been able to solve some of these issues. All the debts that they incurred, we were able to pay the money still. Now, when they came, we had a debt of 3 billion hanging. How were the other debts paid if we were not doing anything like she's sitting here saying? So when you started, you said it's something that has been happening. Governments have been paying money still now. So you don't come and sit here and say the NPP did not do anything. If we didn't do anything, you wouldn't be here writing all these things for Ghanaians to read. And this thing that they are putting out there is just PR gimmicks that they are doing. We did the same thing, but we didn't come here to make Ghanaians feel like, yes, everything has been solved. And they are lying to us, like her Honorable said right now. There are things that they didn't capture in their statement. They should make Ghanaians... they should let it be known to Ghanaians that we've paid this amount of money, but this is what is hanging and this is what
Grace, let me ask you this before I go to Gloria. If your party were to be in power, what would you have done differently?
If my party was to be in power,
what would you have done differently?
About
everything that's happening in the energy sector.
We were already doing it already. So we're already paying the monies. There was no point in time that we neglected any payments or we didn't satisfy the IPPs or anybody. We were already making those payments, and it is clear. If you pull the statement from 2020, you will know all the things that the government did at that time, even till 2024, all the payments that they've made. So that's what I said, that they are making it look, all this thing that has been put out there is just PR gimmicks. It was already being done by other government. That is why we are here at this point, because the NPP were religiously paying all these things, were meeting all their payments, and we are here. You are coming to continue, but you are taking the credit without acknowledging what the other party has done. And mind you, when they were leaving, they also had debts there. Who paid those debts? Is it not the NPP? So if we are all worried, if we don't want to politicize this matter of ECG, then we should all agree that, yes, each party did something to make sure we are here at this point. But you cannot sit here and take the credit and then you say the MPP did not do anything. As at now, you are here, 1st January, they increased the ECG tariffs. If you put everything together from 2024 to now, that's 28%. Even when the MPP was in powers, everything from then to before we left power was 5%. And we are paying more and having less electricity in our shops and in our houses. So don't sit here. If we don't want to politicize it, we should also acknowledge what the other government did for us to get here at this point as a country.
Okay, thank you very much.
So the issue is that I think Grace is not understanding where I am coming from. It's my turn. I think she don't understand what I'm talking about. If I said MPP has done nothing.
Grace, please.
To solve the Doomsor problem. They did nothing, my dear. It's true, and it is 100% true. Heaven should record it.
We all do.
They have not generated even 1 kilowatt of power.
So that's what you want to talk about.
To the grid. We left power in abundance.
Okay.
If they have managed it prudently, we wouldn't have been talking about this.
If we have managed it prudently,
there for years.
Yes, it would not have piled up to this stage because we have power in excess.
And when
they came and they said Mahama is a waste. He generated power in essence.
So
you remember my entrance?
I want to find it.
You remember my entrance submission that I told you? The Energy Commission came with a report before in 2015 that every year, every 10 years, our population grows. So government upon government, when you come and you are entering into that 10-year enclave, you need to generate more power, at least 200 megawatts of power to add up to the national grid to avoid this Doomsor. This research came when Doomsor now became obvious.
Okay, Gloria.
So we generated more power.
Gloria, I like facts. So this is what facts is telling us right now. So it says that when the NDC left office in January 2017, reports indicated they left an energy sector debt of approximately $2.1 billion. So it means that when you were going,
there was energy sector debt.
Yes. So if they also leave in this debt, where's the problem?
The problem is that we left excess power.
Okay.
Nobody is blaming NPP. We are not saying energy sector bill. Is that what we are saying? It's a debt. And what did they name the debt? Legacy. And we've never said it is from the MPP era. We said it's a legacy. Remember, if you can play back my entrance submission, I said from Kwame Nkrumah era. It is even here. I quoted Kwame Nkrumah that it was government upon government upon government upon government. So it is a legacy. It is not something that the MPP has left. And so if this thing is hitting us hard, to the extent that it has even entered into our IMF deal. And they are eating us every quarter. They are eating us every quarter. We have to increase our power, how do we call it, energy bill. Every quarter. The tariffs have to go up every quarter. And you remember I said, when we finish paying their $150 billion debt that is left for us to pay, or more, how much is their debt to pay? My mind has slipped off. Auntie Grace, I'm telling you. No. Look at me. So when we are done, I said it here early on, that when we are done paying their debt, and then the new power
our
plant,
debt is actually all of us are debt.
Exactly.
It's IMF for Eka. When we throw it on them and they receive it finally, and then our gas plant that we are adding to the trouble also come on stream. And other solar and the small ones that are all there. I don't think we will be paying higher tariffs like we are paying now. That's why I was blaming the MPP that if they had also, over the 8 years, generated at least 10 megawatts of power and added to the national grid, including the one we left that they came and said, Mahama is a waste and he has left excess power, according to Honorable Napo.
How did we get the debt?
But you understand,
if it
wouldn't have been like this. What did they use it for?
Let me ask you, I'm coming, Grace, please. Let me ask you this. Many Ghanaians are worried that this debt will return. What are you doing to prevent the debt?
That is why we are in a hurry. We are very busy. we are trusting God for strength to be able to complete the new gas pipeline fast, so that we can get more gas to power. And then we are trying to migrate from the fuel generated, crude generating, so that we can migrate from the crude generating power generation to gas power generation, so that it will be less for Ghanaians to bear, so that the power cost will go down. And we are doing all this, that we need at least someone to say, you have done well. Just be a Ghanaian, a patriotic Ghanaian, that you have done well, that coming into the taking over from the NPP, knowing how much domestic debt we even have, and that within a year, we didn't run out to IMF again, or Eurobond, or any financial market. We use our own monies here in Ghana here to clear almost all the debts that we are owing, including stabilizing the economy, making things calm. NDC is not taking any glory if Ghanaians have not voted for us, Uncle.
Okay, let me go to Janet.
I've heard you say something severally.
Pardon? You have more to say?
No, what are you?
I've heard you say...
don't worry, we'll go very soon.
I've heard you say something severally that we shouldn't politicize the energy sector. Yeah. It's true. Let's not politicize it. This thing started from the beginning of our democracy, because it was in 1998 that I saw that we had these power fluctuations, and it has it has had a trickle-down effect throughout all the regimes. Maybe in some regimes, especially maybe during the first Mohammed's time, it was somehow severe, and it's because we were not planning. We did not plan, and that is why it was somehow severe. But now, let's not politicize it. All of you are doing well. We have an MPP government that said they were paying. You had excess power, and I don't think when they came, they had excess power. They should have generated more excess power. You were saying that they didn't generate anything. Maybe it's because there was excess power.
I want to know. No, I want to say something. She said we didn't. I want to just make it clear to her. Bridge power plants in Pong was done at our time. She said we didn't add
0
anything.
0 points.
Wait.
0 points.
Okay. No, she said we didn't do it. I want you to land. Can I mention some of them?
Don't worry, I'll come to you.
She said we didn't add anything.
Your time will come up.
Okay, sir.
So all what I'm saying is that we can't continue to have this. We are having a book that at our website, anytime power goes off, we tell them to record. And when you look at the book, it cuts across all the regimes. So all what we are saying is that the politicization of our energy sector is becoming too much. And if the MPP and NDC should come together and realize that this is a more serious problem that affects Ghanaians than these two political parties, I think it will be it will help all of us. Let's not politicize it. I like your submissions very well when we were at where? You don't politicize things. You say them the way it is. That is patriotism, and I like it. When we meet like this, we can do politics, but at times, when it comes to things like our energy sector, let's try as much as possible not to politicize it. Don't come and say that this person did this. Your figures you gave out, nice and great figures. If you wanted not to politicize it, you could have said that even in 2024, the NPP paid this, and we also paid this. So we are not trying to politicize it. When you do that, you kill all other comments that would have angered people to come out. You would have done that. So let's try to usually tame down with our emotions and do the needful for Mother Ghana. For this politics will not send us anywhere. It's becoming one too many for all of us.
Fantastic, Janet. Okay, so let me read a few messages. I'll come to you, Grace. Musa Abatwa Inasawasi says, good morning, Roslyn. Is Akosia and Grace living in this country on a different planet? Do they understand what is meant by... Who is Akosia?
It's Akosia and Grace. So me.
I think Jifa.
Okay, so understand what's meant by settling IPP debt, or they are happy to see this country plunged in doom. So their comments sound as if Ghana has not begun a reset. Under their watch, the country was pushed into serious hardship. Yet today we are seeing clear signs of recovery. The contrast is obvious, and they should get their facts straight. Good job, Gloria. You're absolutely on point. So since the NDC took office, they claim responsibility for anything good, but when it is negative, they reference it out to the out of office NPP led by Nanado. See how they messed up the education sector, the abysmal performance of SHS last year. We are watching with keen interest. Wiseman from Mankisim. Okay. Good morning, Roslyn, and your able panelists, except the pro MPP. Oh, why will you say except Janet? Janet is a very good person. Plus Janet, as a politician, why must you depend on a media outlet without your own research? Who does that? Was MPP paying our debt? Which right information is he talking about? Okay, so good morning, beautiful Roslyn. Please, Madam Nabla's position is NDC is bad and no one can change it in this country. But one thing she forgets is that it's under NDC she's enjoying TV shows. Master Roman, so let's do Nakalba. Okay. Good morning, it's Eben. I'm Eben from Kwabenya. I'm so impressed by President JDM government for clearing the energy legacy debt owed. The government needed to be applauded for carrying Ghanaians along in terms of governance, most appropriate to government. Greetings to Honorable MC Agbo. As for the NDC-led Mahama, it's always deception. They rely mostly on propaganda to brainwash their supporters and most Ghanaians. What happened to LGBTQ plus Galamsey, Women's Bank, and the much-hyped 24-hour economy, and the first gold board scandal involving Sami Jenfi and many more? This party and their leader, Mahama, are very clever with their antics. Wiseman again. Okay, Wiseman, we hear you. Let me see more. Ooh. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I like this one. This one is coming to you. Honorable Janet Nabla is on top of issues. She tackles each topic head on. Facts and figures are play. God bless and protect her abundantly. I like your hairstyle. You look fabulous, Honorable. Fantabulous. Good morning, Roslyn. I appreciate the caliber of representatives you typically invite for discussions, but I would like to suggest broadcasting the scope to include a more diverse range of participants. Specifically, I would recommend inviting individuals from various walks of life, such as religious leaders, that's pastors, imams, etc., street vendors, and other grassroots representatives. I think we'll do that one of these days. That's a good one. The concern is that involving only politicians can sometimes lead to discussions that prioritize their interests over those of the broader community. By engaging a wider cross-section of society, we can foster more inclusive dialogue and ensure diverse perspectives are considered. This from Akan, is it Donmark Karim? Okay, Donmark, that's a good one. Thank you so much. I like it, and definitely we will be taking that into consideration. Good morning. About the energy sector, the procurement is when they import inputs, they left them at the harbor, auctioned it to their groups, then resold it back to ECG. Which country will allow this evil to happen? Okay, so that's all I think I'm going to read for this. All right. I think that's it. Okay. So, all right. Thank you all so much for sending. I have so many messages. I can't read all, unfortunately. So let me go to Grace. Grace, you have written down a lot. I don't even have to ask.
I'm all right.
You wanted to clear something that Gloria said, right?
Yes.
What did you want to say?
So she, okay, yeah, I think I
you remember now?
I remember now.
Oh, you want me to ask you something?
No. I remember now. I think when she was talking, she said we didn't add any, if you can, we didn't add any
power to
the national grid, which is false. And you can even Google it and it will give you all the things that Nana Akufo-Addo did when it comes to with regards to the energy sector. You would see it. And let me just pick two of it.
Okay.
Sorry. So one is the 200 megawatt megawatt of that's Bridge Power Plant at Pool, 200 megawatt of the new generation capacity commissioned and added to the grid. That was the first phase in 2004. and then there was is it a solar power plant?
2024.
Yes.
2024. Okay.
Yes, and then there's a solar power plant phase 2. Is it KALEO? Solar power plant phase 2. You can Google it. That's
Right Honorable Speaker's constituency.
That's Kaleo. Okay, sorry.
Solar
thank you.
power plant.
Added 15 megawatt of solar capacity to the national grid. That's just 2 of them. But if you go down, you will see that every year, from 2017 to 2025, you see all the energy, what was added, the capacity that was added to the energy sector during Nana Akufo. So if you sit here and say that the MPP did not add anything to the energy sector,
I will have another time for us to meet here.
Totally
then
false.
I'll bring.
So that's what I wanted to correct
who
before
do
you
the
go off, so that Ghanaians will not think, yes, they can check.
The fact is actually
it's here, so you can Google it, and you can Google, you can use it.
It's here. There's a bridge power plant that is 200. There's a bridge power plant which is a 200 megawatts, commissioned November 2024.
So when did this start?
So the first phase of a larger, and then there's a solar project, which is the Kaleo she spoke about, which is a 6.5 megawatts, and then the AXA power, which is a 720 megawatts as well. So yes.
And there's another one that I think we didn't finish before leaving, but then I think it was going to be done completed by 2029, and that was going to add about I think 515 megawatt to the national grid, and all that was done during the MPP Nana Akufo.
IPPs or not national?
You said we haven't added any
grid.
Exactly. Where is it going?
Private. I'm not talking about private.
Where is it going?
I'm talking about the Ghanaian owned.
If you can just Google it. If your phone is
so what is happening? So let me read the whole view. Let me read it. So it says that the MPP government and the President Akufo-Addo commissioned significant power projects, including a 200 megawatt bridge power plant. That's part of the 515 megawatts project, plus solar plant, adding hundreds of megawatts, though the total watts added varies by specific project, with some newer PPAs, and the PPAs are AXA, so that's the PPAs. Also under the current administration, aiming for more capacity, while future promises like the 2,000 megawatt solar exist, making a single watt added figure complex. So that's it.
So please don't say anywhere.
All right, so
that and also. It's for Ghanaians.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. It's a private. It's the same IPPs.
Okay,
you understand?
We just want to clear that something was done.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also, like I said, before you came in with the dooms or the 2016, I wanted to say that we paid all those bills without taking D-levy from Ghanaians. D-levy is, if you are buying fuel today, remember you are paying 1 Ghana cedis on every liter that you buy. So we didn't do that, but we're able to pay.
And how much is the fuel?
We're able to pay them. It's not about how much.
And how much is the fuel now?
Till now, we were able to pay 1.4 billion in 2024 without taking money. We're not increasing the ECG tariffs in 2024.
And where is Estela?
And we are happy we did that for Ghanaians, and we are here today.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Rosalind.
Where is Estela?
Okay. All right. So we have to
check on the Ministry of Finance.
We have to wrap up all the inflation.
You will get all the anything you want to do. You will get all the payments that was made on the Ministry of Finance.
We are not generating it.
So let me say thank you.
They should go to the Ministry of Finance.
Let me say thank you to everybody.
The Estela is
here this morning. I had Gloria.
Finish everything.
That was the office of the president. I also had Janet Asana Nabla, who is a presidential candidate. Janet Asana Nabla, who is a presidential candidate for PMP, and Grace Akusia Abuabeng, who is a part of the communications team for the NPP. Also, we had Lom Nuku Alija, who joined us, and he's a legal expert in energy sector. He also joined us via Zoom.